Hello everyone and welcome along to live coverage of the AOR Hype Energy F1 Leagues. We are at the United States Grand Prix here at the Circuit of the Americas, an absolute classic circuit in the calendar, one of the brand new ones from Herman Tilke, and it is probably one of his best that he has designed. I'm Ginger Andy, and joining me in the commentary box today we have Jess. Jess, great circuit, enjoyable one, and a great way to end the final few races of the year with this fantastic circuit here.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it is. It's absolutely brilliant. And obviously a championship was decided in real life with Lewis Hamilton, and even Bottas put off a great performance with his teammates. So there are some great corners to overtake as well, where we've seen people come way down the field to finish high up in the standings. So hopefully we'll see the same today.
Absolutely. It is one of those racetracks that, reminds me of some of the older classic circuits on the Formula One calendar. We've got that Essie section that reminds you of Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel at Silverstone. You've got that uphill climb into Turn 1 that reminds you of the classic Turn 1 at Austria, that uphill climb into the first corner. So, Herman Tilke taking some inspiration from some other great tracks on the Formula One calendar. And then there's that magnificent, long, sweeping corner at the end of the lap, turns 17 and 18, that's almost like the opposite. It's like symmetrical to the turn 8 at Turkey. So many great corners on the racetrack. And yeah, it's a circuit, Jess, that provides great opportunities for overtaking, especially into turn 1 and into turn 12.
Yes, those are the two DRS straights, and usually these are the ones that are so committed as well, and it depends on the weather as well, but we've even seen overtakes like that in the heavy rain at times as well. So it's not just a DRS straight, people can go full throttle and get full ERS in it as well. It's just absolutely amazing to see.
And especially as well, you've got turn 11. I mean, so many corners with wide entries. It's perfect for drivers that like to race like Daniel Ricciardo. Such a wide entrance into that turn 1, such a wide entrance into turn 11 to really dive up the inside. So, great opportunities. Turn 1 section, turn 12 right through to turn 16, opportunities for cars to go racing side by side. So without doubt, certainly one of the best circuits designed by Herman Tilke, no doubt about it. But qualifying is underway here at the Circuit of the Americas. We have got one man so far into the 1 minute 30s, and that is CRG Pinecombe with the 1 minute 30.975. So early lap times on the board, and the majority of the cars out there, Jess, looking like going for the soft compound tyre. It looks like that might be the ideal tyre to start the race on.
Yes, I'm not really surprised about that, Andy. I mean, I've seen people in other tiers tonight, some of them try the two-stop strategy. It worked for them, and we've seen someone very ambitious. A lot of ambitious people did soft to medium or medium to soft. So this is one of those tracks like Mexico. It is the same tyre derogation as Mexico, where we're seeing the same type of tyres. We've got the C2s, C3s and C4s, just because they're in this part of the world. So they could just be very flexible, and it just depends on their setup and also their driving style as well, to see if they can get those softs further into the race as they would have done.
It sure will be an interesting race on strategy, as you mentioned, one where it can throw up a little bit of variation with different choices. But we didn't have a stream last week, folks, as I'm sure you guys are aware, and the standings were not updated, so we might as well tell you what the results of that Mexican Grand Prix was last week. It was CRG Pinecone that took the victory in the end by 5 seconds to CRG Luck in second, and Jason 97 F1 found himself on the podium in that race. And he loves a podium, he likes to be consistent, and when things go wrong for some of the other drivers, he's not a person with home in that third place from 12th on the grid, no less, last weekend. So fantastic result for him. Those guys completed the podium. Overkills was 4th, P1R Brown was 5th. Aaron Dazzler, the highest placed driver that moved up when we merged the two tiers. So he was 6th from the former F2, now in F1 of course. Adam Dood was 7th, Bobbert's 8th, Amaze 9th, and Flying Rosie rounded out the top 10 on that occasion. So interesting to see, Jess, who will be the top driver that moved, of course, up back in Japan this weekend here in the USA. But Aaron Dazzler certainly looking like one of the top guys from that F2 so far, sitting 4th quickest with a 131.3.
He was doing well in the F2 Championship before they moved to F1, and he's taken the F1 Championship like ducks to water. He's able to consistently get points as well and challenge the rest of his F2 rivals and even beat some of the guys that are in the top tier as well. So imagine what he's going to be like next season as well when we go on to the second season on this game. He's probably going to be even quicker, and that's going to be used as motivation as well. So I think I will probably see him up there again with the top guys.
Absolutely, it's great. It's a great setup here at AOR where where you've got there's so many different tiers all the way down from what is it? How many tiers in Xbox is there? There must be at least 10, 8, 9, 10 tiers, and you can just build your way up through the tiers. It's a good stepping stone, a good ladder to build yourself up to the top. And now Aaron Dazzler finds himself. And assists, of course, yeah. So drivers on assists, and they can then move as on to no assists, and then build their way up through the tiers to the top of the standings. And that's good to see that some drivers taking their chance well, having moved up from F2 into F1. But TRL Martin then, he's now the top dog here in qualifying, a 1 minute 0.703, 0.2 of a second quicker than CRG Pinecone. Could we see a TRL Martin victory? It's been a long time since we've seen him at the top of the standings and at the end of a Grand Prix, but we'll see how he gets on this afternoon. But the only two men so far in the 1 minute 30s are indeed Martin and Pinecombe. We've got Bobberts, Aaron Dazzler, LGS on outlaps. Who have we got out there going quickly at the moment? Let's pick up TST Raikkonen then. Currently a 1:32.6 is his best time at the moment. He's out there in the Renault. What has he got up his sleeve? He was 13th last weekend in that Mexican Grand Prix. Started 11th, so it wasn't the ideal weekend for TST Raikkonen. What can he do here? He was 7th in his debut. 6th, I apologise. He was 6th in that race back in Suzuka. What can he do on this occasion as he makes his way into the final couple of corners? That penultimate turn is one of the most difficult on the racetrack. So easy to run wide and compromise yourself there as Raikkonen makes his way around the final corner. It's a slight improvement of more than a slight improvement, a good improvement, but it only moves him up to P8 with a 1 minute 32.255. Some distance though, Jess, off the top time of TRL Martin.
Yeah, it's about 2 seconds, and he needs to get a move on really if he wants to get in reach of the top spot, because obviously if you start higher up, it's going to get those soft tyres a lot of good as well. And Jason 97 F1 only 10th for the moment, but I'm sure we can find some time on the board. It is only 6 minutes remaining. The track will start to evolve, and times will probably go even quicker as the session goes on. So we'll watch out to see about the other guys as well. We got Flying Rosie and P1R Brown that have not set lap times yet. They've got it invalidated.
And P1R Brown's out there at the moment. Did he invalidate his one, or is he on one now? He's on one right now, and he goes to the top of the timesheets. A 1 minute 30 flat, 1 minute 30.6 flat. Brilliant time there from P1R Brown, and he goes a 10th clear at the top of the timing. So the man who won in Monaco a couple of seasons ago, showing some great form here in qualifying with 6 minutes to go. He is now the quickest man on the racetrack. And that is going to be an interesting time. Can Martin and Pinecone get near that one, Jess? Good effort there from P1R Brown.
Not that far from Martin and Pinecone. Maybe we'll see a three-way scrap for the top spot. He hasn't had many wins recently, and when he wins, he does it with style. And it's one of those tracks where penalties can make or break a race. It is a penalty central track. It is punished quite harshly on this game usually, where even the slightest of corner cuts, and they get a penalty for it. But that's what this game is, and I prefer it to be strict like that, because otherwise they would get away with it quite easily. And P1R Brown is one of those guys that can keep it consistent with no penalties, as well as Jason 97 F1. So not surprised to see him up there, but in the top half. But I'm surprised he's on pole at the moment, but he's going to take some beating. We got no Veloce surprise today, so maybe we can see some glory from someone you won't usually expect to be on the top. Maybe P1R Brown could be a light and shining armour tonight.
Could be, but it might be about to be displaced at the top of the timesheets because CRG Pinecone is on a lap at the moment. He was quick through the first sector. Has he carried that through the second and final sector to go quickest of all? Pinecone up to the line. Yes, he does. 1 minute 30.5. We're dropping the time down bit by bit, and it's now Pinecone who takes top spot. We've had Martin at the top, we've had Brown at the top, and now Pinecone retakes top spot. The man who has had one win this season and has been on the podium 10 times. So Pinecone used to being up near the front, and with surprise not here, he'll be looking to get his second win of the season, and that's a fine way to go about it. As TRL Martin, though, Jess, is out there 1.5 tenths quicker than his previous best, and he could be on course to challenge the top time. So what can Martin do here?
He is flying on the circuit at the moment. He's taking it like ducks to water. And remember the battles we've seen in Japan where we clipped it on Twitter. And if you want to have a look at that, watch it after the stream, because the moves that he did was incredible. And hopefully we could do something similar today. I mean, he's just one of those drivers that wants to give it their all. And he's doing that right now. And I do believe he was faster in Sector 2 on his personal best. He's lost a bit of time in Sector 3. And that might have invalidated his lap. And he's brushed the wall in the pit lane. He doesn't have a lot of time to get back into the pits and then come out again. So hopefully he can get up there quickly. He should be fine, but it's going to be too close to call, I think. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very close, Jess. Martin, he found, I think, around a 10.5 on his previous best through the first sector. Held on to that 10.5. Didn't really improve in that second sector. Just hanging around that one, a 10.5, but obviously it just all fell away from him in that final part of the lap. Didn't quite go for him, but under pressure now with 3 minutes to go, he's made his way back into the pits. All of the top 6 are currently in the pits at the moment, just getting a fresh set of boots on and getting ready for the final run in qualifying. Who else have we got out on the racetrack? Got Amaze. I think he's the only man on a particularly quick lap at the moment. He's a full second up on his previous best up to this point, and that's no surprise given that his quickest time is only a 1 minute 33.2 at the moment. So even a full second might not be enough to get him ahead of TST Raikkonen here. He needs a little bit more in that final sector, and he's really pushing the limits right off the edge of the racetrack there as the Scotsman. So here comes T10 Amaze round the final corner. What's it going to be? It's a big improvement of 1.7 seconds to move up into the top 6 with a 1:31.5, around 1 second of the top time of CRG Pinecone. But quite a cluster of cars there around the 1:31.5 to the 1:31.7 mark. 4 cars covered by a couple of tenths. So very tight in the midfield, Jess.
Yes, it is, and the midfield battle is absolutely insane. And obviously the Drivers' Championship is now over with Surprise, who took it in Japan. But the midfield battle is far from over, and that's what makes it more exciting. Remember Carlos Sainz as well. He produced some great midfield battles, but then the race directors decided to not show it. But that's the advantage of the Drivers' Championship being decided this early. We can focus more on the midfield drivers, seeing that make their way to the top of the timing sheets perhaps, and maybe challenge the top guys even more. So this is going to be a very exciting couple of races with the midfield, and obviously we got the new F2 drivers who have moved up to F1 as well. And I think there's a few that we haven't seen before from Japan, but they did race last week in Mexico, but we didn't stream it, obviously. They done quite well, so it's the calm before the storm. It's 1 minute and 16 seconds left of qualifying. Everyone is going out now, and I think Martin will just about make it.
Martin hopefully will make it. Meanwhile, out there on a lap at the moment, we have things, in reverse or different to everyone else. He goes against the grain, against the waves. So what can he do on this lap? Currently out there on the medium compound, so it looks like his intention is to qualify on that. Or has he backed out of this? He has. So Jason 97 F1 will be starting 12th at best as he makes his way into the pits. He was on a quicker lap there, but has bailed out of it in favour of a fresh set of boots. So we'll keep an eye on that. TST Raikkonen now 3 tenths up, finding that little bit more, and this should be enough if he keeps it all together to move into the top 10 ahead of SSR Nicole. So here comes Raikkonen then up to that final turn. One up towards the line. What's it going to be? It is enough to move up into 10th place. Finds nearly half a second, and it's a 1 minute 31.7, and he joins that big gaggle of cars in and around the mid 1 minute 31s to add to that midfield battle. But it's time we went up to the guys at the front. Pinecone is starting his flying lap, but P1R Brown is out there in the middle of his lap at the moment, and through the first sector he's found 1 1/4 tenths. What has he found through the middle part of the lap? It's still around 1 and a bit tenths. It's not really been an improvement in the middle sector, but overall on the lap to now, it's going to be good enough to get ahead of Pinecone. What about the final sector for P1R Brown as he makes his way through the neck-busting turns 18 and 19 and towards the final couple of corners? Can P1R Brown put himself back on top spot? 1 corner to go. Turn 20 for P1R Brown. What's it going to be? A 1:30.5 to beat. It's a 1:30.398. The gauntlet has been laid down. That's the time they've got to chase. What can Pinecone do? What can Martin do? Questions will be asked. But before that, we need to watch Aaron Dazzler, who's currently on a 1:31.0. Can he find time? He's currently finding around a tenth of a second. Whoa! He's in a big slide there, coming out of turn 16, and that might just ruin his lap. We'll stick with Aaron for now, but soon after we'll go to Pinecone and then Martin. So we'll stick to Aaron. He's coming into the pits. Let's go to Pinecone then. In the final couple of corners, P1R Brown has delivered a superb time. Has Pinecone saved the best till last? What's he got up his sleeve? Pinecone for the line. No, it's not enough. And Martin has bailed out and gone into the pits. And that surely means that it's going to be pole position for P1R Brown. All the bookies were pointing, all the pundits were pointing at a Pinecone pole, but it wasn't to be. It's P1R Brown, Jess, who takes top spot in the USA qualifying.
That is great to see. He's been the dark horse all season, and if there was someone that can do it when one of the big guys is not here, it is P1R Brown. Absolutely sensational. I like an underdog to do well. And look, there he is on top of the timing sheet, and it's quite close between Brown and Pinecone, so all Brown needs to do is he stays there, and if he stays there throughout the race, then he could be on for another victory. He did well in the esports as well, and obviously took the win in Monaco. Can he get another win in AOR? It's looking like it at the moment, but we've seen surprises already. We've seen people bottle it from pole before. Hopefully P1R Brown doesn't bottle it from pole, and he keeps up his good form. Sensational stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, Jess. Fantastic job there from P1R Brown, who takes the pole position here in the United States Grand Prix qualifying. The Jamaican in the Williams, a 1:30.398. Pinecone tried his best. He challenged right to the end, but he was just a fraction shy. 400ths away from toppling the Williams driver. And Pinecone starts alongside him. TRL Martin starts there. He'll be slightly disappointed. There was certainly more in it for him. Would it have been enough for a front row start? We'll never know. Star of the show, though, Aaron Dazzler, the top guy that moved up from F2 back in Japan. He's 4th. SSR Bobberts is 5th with Adam Dude 6th. Amazed. And LGS, the two Scots line up together on row 4. And it's Smasher and Raikkonen rounding out the top 10. Nicole was 11th. John Pat was 12th. Flying Rosie was 13th. Jason was 14th. And I'm interested to see, Jess, how Jason gets on. Because, you know, I think he was deliberately coming into the pits. He didn't want fresh tyres. So will he be one of those drivers that might go for an alternate strategy?
I think so. I've seen it in most races this season where if there's a difficult track, he likes to be at the back, because usually in turn 1, USA, usually that's where most of the chaos goes on at the start of the race. So if he stays at the back, he can avoid what's going on, and he can take the advantage of what's going on in front of him and try to overtake. He's one of those people that can overtake from lower down the field, and he can score really highly. He's got a few driver of the days this season as well, so I can expect him to make the alternate strategy work. So him not producing a good qualifying lap is a sign for Jason, I think.
Absolutely. You know, as you say, a driver that can overtake. He's so calm. He's calculated. He waits for the moments, doesn't take crazy risks, and just waits for the ideal moment to pounce and picks his way through the field. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, he started 12th in Mexico last week and ended up on the podium. So, you know, certainly going to be one to watch out there for Jason. But, you know, we'll not focus too much on Jason for now. We should really focus on this battle at the front, Jess, shouldn't we? Because that looks like a really meaty battle between those top 3 drivers. P1R Brown getting into the mix, fighting with Pinecone, and TRL Martin, he's chasing a win. He's due an AOR win. It's been an awful long time. What do you think, Jess? It's tough to call, tough for you guys in the comments as well. You guys in the comments, who do you fancy for the victory? And Jess, who do you fancy for the victory? Because Dylan Warren is asking in the comments who you think will win.
That is a good question. I'm gonna say P1R Brown is probably gonna do it. You know, with Martin and Pinecone not that close behind. I think he's just gonna have the edge. He's usually good at starts as well. He can handle the pressure. I think it's gonna be him. I'm not saying it just because he's on pole. He's on pole for a reason, and if he stays there, he could put a great performance. So if that answers your question, Dylan, I think P1R Brown should get pole. But we want to hear what you guys think in the comments as well. So get your thoughts in.
Oh yeah, I definitely. Jess, I am going to go with the safe bet, the favourite for this, and I do still believe that Pinecone will be the favourite for this race. He's probably the quickest, you know, in terms of what we've seen this season, and he's second the distance. So I'd say the safe bet would be Pinecone, and you know, if I was a betting man, and I'd be going down to the bookmakers, I'd be putting my money on CRG Pinecone. Call me boring, it might be slightly boring, but I think that Pinecone is going to be the man to beat this afternoon. It'd be great to see P1R Brown, or of course TRL Martin, getting a win. TRL Martin would certainly be a popular winner. Quite a following on Twitter and on YouTube as well with his fantastic video edits that he does from time to time. So interesting to see who will come out on top. But unless something crazy happens, it's going to be between those three, Jess, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to really. They're the ones that are producing the great battles this season, as well as Veloce Surprise. So I think these are the ones to watch out for. But I think Jason, I'm going to predict, is probably going to get some points. I'm going to say Jason is going to get probably P7 or P6, I think. I know it's a bold decision, but I think Jason's going to be up there fighting for points as well. But we'll see if P1R Brown gets a good start. Will Pinecone get a good run into turn one? And will Martin maybe go up the middle of them and try and take advantage of ones who do try the challenge for the front and doesn't quite do it? We'll have to find out, as I'll let you go through the start, Andy.
Well, the cars all lined up in the grid, as we mentioned at the top of the show when we were talking about the circuit. Wide entry into that first corner. As you said, Jess, it's possible we could see someone dive up the inside into that. Here we go then, round number 19 of the championship. The 5 red lights are coming on. Will it be Pinecone? Will it find out as the 5 red lights go out, and we are racing, and it looks like a superb. He's already pulled the wrong side into that first corner. No, I'm seeing different stuff. This is lagging. How is turn one? I've got no idea. Are you seeing the same thing as me, Jess? How has Bobberts got the lead through the first corner?
Yeah, I seen Bobberts in the lead as well. I don't know what happened there. I didn't see him get the start. I think he's suffering from D6. He keeps lagging, but Pinecone got a very good jump, and P1R Brown's now down into P9. What's happened to him? And it's just all over the shot. They've got no damage to their front wings. I think it's just a very glitchy turn one by the sound of things at the moment. But Pinecone had the edge on P1R Brown, and he stays P2. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure if what you'd seen is what I had seen, but in the end, it is Bobberts that leads Jess, or the stream back, and it certainly looks a lot smoother than what I saw. It just looked like Bobberts got a flying getaway and is into the lead. My screen was jumping all over the place, but it is out of SSR Bobberts that leads this race. What is going on there? And look at Pinecone steaming up the inside, making contact. They're ghosting as well. Goodness me, this is difficult for me to commentate on because they're lagging. I don't know what you guys on the stream are saying, but they're certainly lagging a lot for me. But Bobberts there defending hard from Pinecone, just about stayed ahead. But the top 4 all stuck together like glue, and Bobberts now really final corner, and Pinecone is all over him. Look, he's going to surely have a run up the inside into turn 1. Pinecone steaming up the inside and surely into the lead of the race. He is through and into the lead, and Martin follows him through as well. And now Bobberts is off into the wall. Big off for Bobberts and his glory run at the front.
What, did he go in the wall?
Okay, no,
he didn't go in the wall for me.
Apparently not. There you go.
He didn't go into the wall for me, but he's still in P3. And meanwhile, Bobbers is dropping quite a lot. As we got Adam Dude as well. He's getting quite a bit of positions. He's up into P4 already, and he's going to see if he can try and make a move into turns 10 and 11. Let's see. He's going to go to the left-hand side. Does he do descend? He's going to try for descend at least. He's going to get a good run coming up into the long uphill. So I do see a Haas going off. That is SSR Nicole. I think she's had enough. Not quite sure what happened there, but let's jump on the battle between Adam and SSR Bobbers. Adam, is he going to go around the outside of Bobbers? Yes, he does. What a move from Adam. He's put on a brilliant show for us today, and he's going to probably try and catch up to the top two. That'll be insane to watch, isn't it?
It is insane. Apologies, folks. I'm seeing different things on my screen to what you guys are at times. But here comes Bobbert up the ends. Back through here as they go side by side, making their way round through turn 17. Like, I hope I'm right. Adam Dude is back through and up into third place. Goodness me, Jess, this is going to be difficult. I'm going to be guessing what's going on because they're lagging all over the place on my screen. But I can just about make out what's going on. Apart from that, Bobbert's off as we go across the line and tucked right up behind CRG Pinecone. Is he going to have a look into turn one? It doesn't look like it, as the DRS has been activated on this lap. So Pinecone from Martin, from Adam Dude, and then SSR Bobberts in third. Aaron Dazzler's fifth, and then a little gap back between him and his teammate of 1.1 seconds. But Jess, looking at the racetrack at the moment, I think the best battle to keep an eye on is certainly going to be DRS now active. Is Martin on this lap going to have a run on Pinecone? Pinecone was slightly wide there as he went down the hill, and Martin is going to be in prime position to have a look and perhaps go for the move. But we've seen it so many times on this game. Do drivers like going for the move? Sometimes they do not. They like to just save the battery. But Martin's keeping it in mode 4. He's not interested in hanging around today. TRL Martin in the Alfa Romeo is going to breeze alongside and up and through and into the lead of the United States Grand Prix. He dives through on Pinecone. Well, so often we see drivers with the ERS trying to manage it. Not today. Martin saw an opportunity and he took it, Jess.
Yes, he did a really great send there. He took that with absolute control there, and he's now in the lead in his race, and he's going to start to pull away. Sensational stuff from him. We've also got Bobber still trying to catch up to Adam Dude as well. We've got Smasher and P1R Brown having a bit of a battle as well as P1R Brown and LGS, but the biggest gainers have been Jason 97 F1. He's up 3 positions, he's up 1 more place, and then he'll be in the points. Adam Dude up 3, SR Bobberts up 1, FYA Smasher up 2, Amaze up 1, Martin up 2 as well. But P1R Brown has been the biggest loser there, down 7 positions from where he started.
Yes, we've kind of almost skipped over what's happened to P1R Brown because we've been too busy watching action elsewhere, and I've been too busy trying to get my internet to smooth out a little bit. But I'm glad to say, Jess, things do look a lot smoother on my end, so I won't be wrongly calling cars going off the track anymore, I hope. Let's see how it goes. Lap 4 then, out of 28. As you said, big loser is P1R Brown. As Amaze appears to have got through on Smasher, and we'll keep an eye on that here because P1R Brown is right in the thick of that battle and is considering a move. But do we go up to Pinecone? I think we should, because it looks like he's going to come straight back here. Martin can do nothing, and Pinecone retakes the place using the ERS, and by the time he gets to the braking zone, he's already through and got it straight back down into mode 0. So Martin's lead at the front did not last long, and I do think we're going to see that ding-dong battle continue throughout the race. But look at this for 6th, 7th and 8th. P1R Brown right in the thick of it, right round the outside of Amazed he goes, and he makes it work. P1R Brown, almost frightened off the road by Smasher, and then straight back through goes Amazed, and Amazed now also finds a way past Smasher as well. Goodness me, it's like a Formula Ford race. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars all battling. It's like Noah's Ark. 2 by 2 they go through 17 and 18. Absolutely sensational stuff. And it's Smasher in 2nd, with Amazed in 7th, and P1R Brown in 8th. The 2 Reynolds right in there as well, and chasing, and even flying Rosie joining the group at the back. That's 7 cars all in a line here, and here comes the Maze. Up the inside he goes into that wide apex of turn 1. Slight contact between he and the racing point, but it's enough to see him through back up into that 6th place. Goodness me, what a battle this is, Jess.
Is this F2? Because we've seen this in F2 in real life. This reminds me definitely of that. they've all been producing some amazing battles. We've seen that in the other tiers as well. I think USA is just a great track to commentate on. They all giving, I'm trying to think of the word, they're all giving it their all today. That's it. P1R Brown is forgetting what happened at the start of the race. He wants to try and make a comeback. LGS and the Renaults are having a go at it as well. P1R Brown almost had enough there, but he managed to come back quite quickly as Pinecone is starting to pull away a little bit on Martin. Martin couldn't quite get past Pinecone on this occasion.
Well, it's all happening again down into the braking zone. Smasher on Aaron Dazzler. Is he going to, sorry, on Amazed. He's going to go right round the outside this time. And the battle continues once again as he threw. Amazed keeping his foot in, trying to complete that move on Smasher, still side by side. And like I said at the top of the show, this section provides such great racing. Pinecone clips the back of Smasher as a huge slide, but somehow keeps it all together. And Amazed now is out of shape, and Pinecone's trying to pull alongside through turn 18. No room for that, and it remains somehow with Smasher in 6th, Amazed in 7th, and P1R Brown in 8th. Jess, this is absolutely crazy as Amazed picks up a 3-second time penalty. Goodness me, if we can get this for 22 more laps, I'm all for it. Madness.
Yeah, I hope we get to see that for the whole of this race. Absolutely sensational, and some of these guys are from F2 last season. And looks like we got the Williams having to go at this as well, and P1R Brown. I mean, Smash has been doing so well. This is the first time we've seen him in a race in F1 where it's streamed. Obviously, he raced last week, but we didn't stream it. And, oh, we got Amazed and Brown fighting in the S section. And Maze had a big mistake. P1R Brown's gone off. P1R Brown's going to try and cover off on the inside line. And I think both of them have lost not one, but 2 positions. And now the Renaults are now up into 7th and 8th place. They've taken advantage of that quite nicely indeed. We've got another racing point, Flying Rosie going at it, and the Renaults are Raikkonen dropped down, but he's gaining position once again. It's just action all over the place. We've got Martin and Pinecone going at it again. Martin was trying to get the place back from Pinecone. He's going to be switching places for those two pretty much for the whole race, like he said. Martin's going to keep on the line here. He's going to try and fend off Pinecone. My oh my. There's just action happening all over the place. Which battle to look for next? I'm all for this, Andy. I can't wait for the rest of this race.
Oh, this is absolutely astonishing. If you're not on the edge of the seat, folks, you might as well turn it off because it doesn't get any better than this. Action absolutely everywhere, and they're all following each other into the pits now, battling on the racetrack, and now they're going to be battling in the pit lane. It's going to be a battle between the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo mechanics. In comes Pinecone into his pit box. Martin much further down the pit lane. Well, that hinder Pinecone because cars will be coming in that end of the pit lane. Let's see who is ahead. Is it Martin? Is it Pinecone? Let's have a look.
Martin.
It's Martin. Martin has got the jump in the pit lane, and the Alfa Romeo mechanics have won the battle in the pit lane war. Brilliant stuff on the racetrack. Martin retakes the place, and I do have to say, I think Pinecone being the first carriage in the pit lane affected him massively there, Jess, because there was so many cars pouring into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think so. Mercedes obviously in real life have the option of being first in the pit lane, so that gives them an advantage. And but in the game, it kind of holds up quite massively if they're in the top 2. So that didn't help Pinecone, but that helped Martin. He was in the middle, and he was able to get a good getaway. Let's see how Pinecone can come back from this. They're on the same tyres. It all comes down to driver skill. And meanwhile, whilst this battle is going on, we have lost a driver of SSR Nicole. She is out of this race. And Jason 97 F1 and Smasher, they're going for a battle. I think Jason's now up into P2 of this race. And Smasher, he might come back at it again very, very soon. I'll keep an eye on Martin and Pinecone as well to see if Pinecone could edge out Martin. He's ever so close. There's just so much happening. But Smasher doing well, Jason doing very well as well. It'll be interesting to see what Adam did as well. He was the only one not to go into the pits. I do believe he was on, no, he's on the soft. So he will have to go again into the pits. He is struggling a little bit for grip. He's going to lose some time. So I'm thinking he's going to drop quite a few positions here.
So he comes out of the pits. Jason, though, absolutely astonishing. We said it just before the start of the race, Jess, didn't we? That he is going to be one to watch, just cutting his way through the field. And he was on the medium compound, and he's just quietly went about his business. He's watched everyone battle like crazy in front of him, and he now has got a bit of clean air in front of him to try and make this medium tyre stint work. So Jason will get the head down now and try and push on and at least get himself up fighting for a top 4 position. That's got to be his aim, as Aaron Dazzler picks up a 3-second time penalty. So Adam Dude then, without a pit stop yet, leads Jason from Flying Rosie and TST Raikkonen. Those 4 drivers yet to stop. Adam Dude and TST Raikkonen will be in the pit lane soon as they're on softs. Flying Rosie and Jason playing the long game. Then it's your net leader, TRL Martin in 5th, and here he is fighting with CRG Pinecone. Crucial that he got back ahead of him in the pit stop phase. Can he now stay ahead and go on and win this race and pick up a first AOR victory in a long time, Jess? I'm going to actually do some research here and try and find out when his last win was. I'm going to go and look for that.
Okay, I was about to ask exactly the same question, so I'm glad you're going to respond to that hopefully very, very soon. And I can't remember when Martin won, actually. I know he might have won a few races in the AOR esports tournament. I'm not entirely sure because he took part in that. But in actual AOR, I don't know. There's a few people in the chat would want to see Martin do well. There's a few people that want to see Pinecone do well. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. We've got one of the last of the soft runners, Adam Dude. He is diving into the pits right now to change onto a set of the medium tyres by the looks of things. I'll go on board with him. Yes, he is. And we got Martin and Pinecone. I think I'm going to comfortably go past Adam Dude, so they're going to take the net lead anyway. Pinecone, known, he is chasing Martin for the lead. He's got the fastest lap of the race so far, so he means business here. And have you got an update on when was Martin's last AOR win yet, or are you still looking?
Not yet, Jess. Don't worry. I'm going to continue commentating while looking. I'm just going to try and multitask and get it over the course of this race, because we've still got a long way to go in the race. We're still only roughly 1/3 of the way through. So whether the stat becomes worthwhile looking for or not, we'll find out to see if Martin remains in this contention. But I certainly want to find the stat in case we do find ourselves in a situation where Martin can win this race, because it must be a long time. I'm going to go back and have a little look as we go through the race, but it is 9 laps gone out of 28. Jason still leading from Flying Rosie as they wait to make their stops. We've now seen the pit stops from the 2 other drivers on the softs that had yet to pit, but Martin still just about holding firm at the moment. But look at this battle down the straight between LGS and Smasher, and it looks like easily, and he is through. But in the background, though, there's another scrap. Fiona Brown, the pole sitter, seems like a long time ago already, Jess, doesn't it? He's making a move on T10 Amaze, and it looks like he's completed it, and he's up into P11.
Yeah, I'm sad that Fiona Brown is down in 11. Every time I make a prediction for someone that's going to get on pole wins the race, they end up down in like last or something. So don't trust me with predictions again, okay? Because they're probably going to bottle it. But yeah, hopefully he can climb his way back up, and hopefully he can score some decent points at the end of the day. Anyone in this league deserves points, but obviously only 10 people can do so. And we've seen some great action already. We could see some more action from the other Renault of TST Raikkonen and Amaze coming up soon as well. We're watching Pinecone and Martin easily go through the SS section. Pinecone's just finding his time. He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity. What will Pinecone want to do in this situation towards the end of the race if they stay like this? Would he want to be the chasing car, or would he be the one that wants to defend? I don't know. If I was him, I want to be one on the defensive, because then you can get the DRS, get the power in, and then just put more pressure on the leading car. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know, Jess. I've watched a lot of races and on this game, and I've found that if you're the car sitting behind, you actually sometimes are the one, with that extra bit of ERS up your sleeve. And it might be different on a racetrack where overtaking's difficult, but on a track like this, it is quite easy if you get the run and you've saved the battery. But before we talk any further about that, we've got Smasher right behind John Papp, and it looks like another lap is going to go by with a battle involving Smasher, and he's going to get the move done into the braking zone, and he is through at turn 12. Papp, and he takes 8th place away. We've not heard much from John Papp at all in this race, who actually started it on the hard compound tyre, so a very interesting tyre choice there from John Papp, but he has been passed by Smasher. But the battle we all want to watch is Martin and Pinecone. I don't know, Jess, personally I'd rather be Pinecone. He's got 80% of the battery still there. Martin's down in the 40s. Is Pinecone going to try and drain Martin's battery and make that move later on? Well, time will tell. It's going to be an interesting finale to this race, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think so, Andy, and maybe Pinecone will want to try and force Martin into a mistake, maybe, so Martin can get some penalties, and then it won't matter if Pinecone is behind him or not. I don't know. I've seen situations where I've been forced from behind or in front to get a penalty due to me attacking for a position or even defending as well. So maybe it'll be the case between those two. These two are not that far from getting a penalty themselves. I'm seeing a few corner cuts from these two, but that means they've been pushing to the limits. Both of these guys really want this win. Martin hasn't had a win in a long time. Pinecone wants to prove that he is not just one who's won two races or so in AOR F1. He wants to win more than that. He wants to be a title contender next year. He's going to go at it again. Martin is going to defend nicely there. A bit of touch in there, but no damage required. No damage needed. Martin, what a defensive move he has done there. We also got Bobbers and Adam Dude going at it as well, just as we were speaking. There's just battles happening all over the shop just for points. Any point is crucial here. Bobbers is having a really good comeback into P5. I think he's one of those guys that hasn't had a really good start recently in some races, but he has proved us wrong today yet again. And John Papp's left the session for me. I'm not sure if it's the same for you. I think he's disconnected. So unfortunately, he won't be coming back unless someone gives him an invite. We can't give him an invite once again. But another lap goes by. Pinecone is about 5/10 behind Martin now. He's still on 72% battery, whereas Martin is on 48. I'm presuming Martin is going to want to be on overtake to try and keep Pinecone behind, but it's not going to be there for that much longer. He must do some saving, Andy, if he wants to survive in this race.
Absolutely, he's got a lot of saving to do if he wants to maintain that position and earn his first victory in a long time. And I can tell you, Martin's last race victory was Sunday, the 30th of April 2017. It was season 13 in AOR. We're now on what, season 18 is it? We're on right now?
Yeah, season 18. Wow.
So there you go. That was his last win. So there you go. I've done a little look into the archives, and there it is. TRL Martin, you're right behind Flying Rose. He really needs to clear this traffic, and Pinecone now senses an opportunity. He's going to go round the outside into turn 13, and he's right behind Martin. Is he going to think about a move up the inside? He sure is on Martin. Is he going to get to the apex? He does, but Martin has enough speed on the outside to hold on for that little bit longer. Goodness me, he needs to be cautious, Jess, because he doesn't want to find himself on the outside of Flying Rosie, because if he does, Pinecone will be there to pounce, won't he?
Yeah, I mean, Pinecone is loving life at the moment behind them. He knows he's got traffic in front of him, but if he gets past Martin, he's going to deal with it as well, and Martin might sense his opportunity. So Rosie's on a different strategy. He'll have to pit in the next two races as well. Oh, look, Pinecone is really sensing an opportunity here. This is mind-boggling. I think Martin has got past Rosie now. Pinecone, yep, he's got past him. That is a relief.
Jess, that was so close. What a place for Pinecone to try and make that move. I think he realised that he really needed to get that done as soon as possible to avoid Martin getting a full 1 second up the road, because you don't want to be following a slower car through that SE section. And Pinecone said, okay, it's now or never. I need to make that move, and he duly did. And is that a race-saving moment in terms of the victory for CRG Pinecone? A crucial move there, but he's still 6/10 back and trailing Martin. We're not even at halfway distance yet. This is a superb race here in AOR Season 18, Jess. This is going to go right to the wire, I'm sure of it.
Can we have USA races every week, please, guys? Yes, definitely. I mean, this is one of my favourite USA races I've ever commentated on. I think I'm glad it's on the F1 game, and it always brings out good races in real life. It's doing the same here today. It's just absolutely incredible. Meanwhile, Amaze has got past TST Raikkonen for P11, one more place, and he's in the points. And John Papp, I believe, has already been lapped by people, which is a shame, but hopefully he can bounce back. Or he's ghosted. Actually, no, he's ghosted because he's disconnected, but there we go. Now, Pinecone might sense an opportunity right now. I don't think he's got traffic ahead of him. The only traffic ahead of him is Jason 97 F1, but I'm sure Jason is going to let them through. Anyway, Jason doing ever so well.
Yeah, Jess, Jason, he's always one that doesn't really like to get involved, doesn't he? With the guys battling up at the front, and if they're coming, he'll not, lose time himself. He won't obviously slow down and move aside, but if they're coming up the inside, he'll not shut the door on them. He'll just politely say, on you go, I'm not in the same race as you, because he knows fine well it'll cost him time in the battles that he's fighting elsewhere in the racetrack. So Pinecone now half a second back, but it's another worrying time for Martin, because he really does want to clear this last car so that his only focus is on that silver arrow behind him. Is he going to get the DRS from Jason in front? I don't think so. So he could be under threat here. He is under threat. Pinecone going down the outside. Martin's going to have to cover the inside. It's too late though. Pinecone has managed to switch his way right round the outside and pull off a beautiful move there. Wonderful stuff from Pinecone. Martin thought about coming straight back. There was no room to do so. And Pinecone now has the lead on lap 14 out of 28. We're at halfway race distance. And Pinecone has done it, retaking the lead. But I have to say, Jess, it might be the lead for now, but I think this race has got a long way to go yet. I think there's going to be a lot of position changes prior to the finish.
Yes, fast on your seatbelts. If you just joined us, where have you been? There's been action all over the shot, and we could see more from Martin yet to come as well, and Pinecone. Pinecone wants this win so badly, Oh no, Aaron Dadsler's got a penalty as well. That might not help him if he wants to get some points. I think there's people around him that do not have penalties. But I think Martin has been the star of the second half of the season, really. He wants to get those positions back. He wants to try and challenge for top positions and podiums as well. He's not been in the thick of the wins, but he's been up there in the top 2 or even the top 3. And if he keeps up those performances like that, I can't wait to see him in seasons to come. And we lost another driver, and it is our pole sitter, P1R Brown, who is now the second retirement. I don't know how he retired. It was set to 3 on my screen, so probably it was in the pit lane, surely.
Well, here we go, Jess. This is a big moment in the race for Pinecone and Martin. Are they both going to sail past Jason? What's Jason going to do? I fully expect him to maintain his line, and Jason does maintain his line. Pinecone is through. Martin will offer his way through, and will Jason give him his hand and say, on you go? Yes, he will. But Pinecone was deep. He was very deep. Martin fancies a look up the inside. He kind of says, I'm there, Pinecone, if you fancy moving aside. But Pinecone has got just enough in his locker to maintain the position. Lap 15 out of 28. There is 3 tenths between them. I told you that Martin's last win was on the 30th of April 2017. That is 994 days ago. We're coming up to 1,000 days since Martin last won a race. Is he going to break that record? But before it gets to 1,000, can Martin get that win before it's 1,000 days since his last AOR win? He's so close to Pinecone into turn 1, but not close enough. I could go into deeper details. I could tell you how many weeks it was, how many hours it was, how many minutes it was, but I'm not going to clog you with that much information because I don't think it's relevant.
And someone was saying in the chat earlier, our coordinator for this league, James, said you're stealing the role from him. But it's our job to tell you the stats, and the coordinators give you the stats. We say them, and I believe it was the start of season 13. So I think season 13 started in about April. So or it might be the end. I don't know. Is it either the end of the season or the start of the season?
It was Bahrain, second race in season 13. So. There you go, Jess. You were right. The first time it was a very early one as Adam Dude and Bobberts are battling. Adam Dude's found a way through, but I think Martin might be coming back. It's Pinecone. That's the prime thing we need to watch here. Is he close enough? No, he's not. He stays behind him for now. What about Adam Dude? Let's go back to that. Bobberts is there again. Bobberts trying to go round the outside. Is he going to pull off a lovely move? It certainly would be. Adam Dude covers it off well, maintains his line. And Bobberts will have to think again on that one, or will he? He's going to try and go right round the outside. That will give him the inside for the hairpin, but no, Adam Dude defending very well there, Jess, and holds his line and holds 5th place.
Yeah, he's going to be his best result of the season, and if he keeps it up, that'll be very, very impressive if he wants to keep on improving like this. Absolutely sensational stuff from the Toro Rosso driver, beating, I do believe he was from F2 last season, and he's absolutely smashing Bobberts in 6th place, so he's absolutely keeping control. He's not that far behind Rosie either, who is on older tyres, so you'll even get 4th place as well, even 3rd place, due to Jason and Flying Rosie still to pit, so he could potentially, Andy, get a podium.
He sure could. It's all falling into place here. This is going to be a very, very interesting to see how this all pans out in the remaining laps. Lap 17 now out of 28. Who is going to come out on top at the front? Who's going to complete the podium? What about this midfield scrap that's been raging on all race long? Me and Jess have barely had a moment peace. There's been so much going on.
I think we lost you, Andy. Well, I think we lost that Andy for a minute there. I think he's lagging or something, or his mic. I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully we can get him back shortly. But meanwhile, it's Martin versus Pinecone for the race victory at the moment. It is pretty much 9 laps to go until the end of this race. I can see Martin with a chance. We may see them both switch back positions towards the end of this race, or they might just go for it on the last lap. Hopefully, and I know some of you guys are hoping to see battles happening pretty much every lap, but it might eat into the tyres a little bit. That might just cost him so dearly, I think, for one of these two. But I'm just seeing the ERS battery now. They're the same battery. This is even Stevens between these two as well. And Roberts and Adam Dude are still fighting as well. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. And we're 10 laps to go. And John hasn't pitted yet. And we've got Flying Rosie in the pits. I won't be surprised if Jason pits anytime soon as well. Pinecone is starting to pull away. Are you back?
Yes, I'm back, Jess. In amongst all the excitement, I accidentally pulled my mic out, so that's what happened there. But yeah, glad to be back. I was just going to mention that Martin had actually fell to around 9/10 away from Pinecone, but luckily for him, he's now back within DRS range or within striking distance at 7/10. So alarming moment there for Martin, but he is now back within range, thankfully for him.
Yeah, I'm glad about that. I want to see a battle for the race win. I can't remember when it was a full scrap to the line on the last lap in Xbox One F1. I just can't remember when the last race of that was, when it was just a battle to the finish like that. And I think we're going to see the same today as Amaze gets a 3-second time penalty. Is Martin close enough on his lap?
Oof,
no, he's not. He is not. He's just a little bit of edge there. I think Pinecone just had the edge on him, but it's just going to come down to the wire, and Bobbitts is still going to see if he can get past Adam Dude once again. He was a 10th off Adam Dude in that sector, and he's going to try and come back at him once again. This is not far from over from Bobbitts. He wants to get this 5th place from Adam Dude. You know, I think Adam has more the advantage that he's on 2 lap fresher tyres, but Bobbitts is not going to let that phase him. He just wants to challenge him to see what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. A real battle going on between those two. I'm really enjoying that the Ferrari and the Toro Rosso. Adam Dude's been defending superbly there, hasn't he? It's been absolutely fantastic racing. And Aaron Dazzler's right there waiting to get involved. But Martin is right behind Pinecone. This is going to go the distance, it sure is. And now the tables have turned. Not only is Pinecone ahead of Martin now, but it's now Martin that's got more ERS in his back pocket, Jess. So now the tables have turned. The track position might be Pinecone's, but Martin's got that extra weapon up his sleeve of around 10 to 12% more than the car in front. So let's see if he can make it count as penalties continue to rack up. Aaron Dazzler picking up one there, and someone else didn't quite see who it was, Jess.
I didn't see what it was either. I was more concentrating on the battle for the lead because I think I was just more glued to that, because this has been going on for all race long. Martin is even closer, but I don't think he's that quick enough. He's backed off on his ERS. He's just trying to save as much as he can. He's just going to wait for the latest opportunity so Pinecone does not respond. And Pinecone is on more. Actually, no, Pinecone's on lower, so he can afford to take it easy at this moment in time. Also, we have got, I'm just seeing who the biggest gainers are once again after most people have made their pit stops. Jason 97 F1 does make the move on LGS, so that is 7 places gain from Jason 97 F1. I did say 7th and 6th potentially for Jason this race, and that's probably one prediction I probably will get right, touch wood. So hopefully he can stay there, or maybe even gain more positions, and he'll prove my point that he's Mr. Consistent and can gain from where he started. Don't forget, he started dead last on the grid, and now he's up into 7th place. He avoided the trouble, and look where he is. He is about 9/10 behind Smasher, and I do believe Smasher has a few penalties, so at the moment it's looking like 6th place is for Jason. Meanwhile, Martin is edging ever closer to Pinecone. I don't know who's going to take it, Andy. This is just tense.
It really is tense. Actually, it's Aaron Dazzler that's got quite a few penalties. Jess, Smasher doesn't have any yet, and it doesn't have any yet. But Jason has got one himself, which is very uncharacteristic, not like him at all. So we'll see how Jason gets on, because remember, you know, these guys on the mediums have already done 13, 12 laps. They're going to have to do another full 8 on them. Jason's going to be catching them hand over fist, but you would fancy it's going to be between Adam Dude and Bobbitts for that final podium. But let's go to Martin, lap 20 out of 28, still in mode 0, still not interested in going for a move on Pinecone. And I think that is a wise choice from TRL Martin. but Pinecone is countering it. He knows what he's trying to do. He knows Martin's trying to save the battery, and Pinecone himself is also in mode 0. So they're countering to the final couple of laps. As Jason now has got himself up into 6th place and ahead of Smasher. So Jason flying along, quite the thing. Next up on his radar, Aaron Dazzler, but it's a full 9 seconds up the road as Bobberts and Adam Doon continue their battle, and Bobberts now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Great battle for 1st and 2nd, great battle for 3rd and 4th, and we've just seen Jason pass Smasher for 6th and 7th. Action everywhere, as there has been all race long. Right, folks, in the comments, let us know, one word answer, who's winning this race? Will it be CRG Pinecone? Will it be TRL Martin? I can also tell you they have both got 2 warnings each. They're both 1 warning away from a time penalty. So that's the situation. No penalties between them yet. They're both in the same number of warnings. Who wins it from here? Pinecone, Martin? Let us know in the comments. Jess, what way are you going?
Oh, you're gonna. I'm not gonna say, because you asked me who would win earlier on in the race, and they ended up in dead last. So I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna let the viewers decide, and I'm just gonna wait until the checkered flag and see who I think deserves driver of the day. I'm not gonna say. I think it could be anyone, and to be honest, between Pinecone and Martin, I think either of them deserve it. Really, they've been at it all race long, like I've said, pretty much a multiple amount of times as well. And speaking of Jason, actually, he could catch up to Aaron Dazzler, but he's got 7 laps to do it. He's been finding so many tenths per lap on Aaron Dazzler because the medium tyres are starting to degrade. Jason has just pitted onto the softs. We've got 2 of the racing points going side by side into the DRS straight, and I think Flying Rosie has just got past Smasher as well, as he's up into 7th place ahead of his teammate, and he can catch up to Jason as well. So maybe 6th place may not be Jason secured just yet. You never know.
Oh yeah, absolutely incredible what is going to happen next. So much action. So Flying Rosie now up to 7th place, as you say, Jess. I just don't know who's going to get that final podium spot, and I don't know who's going to win this race, as Martin's there again, threatening a move on Pinecone. They've both got 100% battery. They've both been toying with one another and just waiting to the end of the race. This is going to be a straight shootout come the finish, Jess. ERS is going to get flung in the bin, and these two are just going to go and have a pure race between each other, and it is bound to be fireworks. Don't go anywhere, folks. If you're tuning in, tell your friends. Get them to tune in. Tell them that TRL Martin is trying to end a 994-day wait without an AOR victory. If that isn't enough to tune in, I don't know what is. 6 laps to go, and me and Jess are on the edge of our seats here in the US Grand Prix. And now Martin has moved it up into mode 5. He's not hanging around anymore. He's going to breeze through. And Martin makes his move on lap 22 out of 28. By the time they reach the braking zone for turn 12, Martin regains the lead. Pinecone drops to 2nd. And now then, Martin moves into pole position to get his first win since April the 30th, 2017 in season 13 back in Bahrain. Jess, game on.
Game on for Martin, game on for Pinecone as well. And this is a track where we've seen people that have won that haven't won in ages. Remember not last year, 2 years ago, Kimi Räikkönen got his first win in a long time as well. I can't count how many days or years, but so Martin is doing a Kimi Räikkönen and Kimi Räikkönen's in the Alpha now, so he is actually, is he Kimi Räikkönen in the car? He must be, or something, because, yeah, that is just sensational. Can he see what Kimi Räikkönen did in 2018? And I don't know, Pinecone's looking hungry for it as well. We've got 6 laps to go-ish. Let's find out who comes out on top. This is nail-biting stuff. I'm literally on the edge of my seat, Andy, as we're doing this. This is going to be nail-biting stuff. We've got, I think, a lot of someone saying that Martin's going to win. I haven't had any other responses at the moment. Keep your responses coming in, guys. Who do you think's going to win? Is it Martin or Pinecone? And more potentially, who's going to get that podium spot? Is it going to be Bobberts, Dazzler, Adam Dude, or maybe Jason 97 F1 due to penalties? I don't know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see, Andy, if Pinecone is closing up to Martin on this DRS straight. I don't think he can do it on this lap.
He's not. He's 7 tenths back as Martin laying the gauntlet down. Is he going to try and pull clear and put an end to this one? Doesn't look like it. It's going to be very tough. We've seen it so many times on this game. It's incredibly difficult to pull away and find a 1 second window. But look at Bobberts. He's up the inside at long last. He's finally found a route down the inside of Adam Dude, and he's through into third place. And Adam Dude's staunch defence of third place has come to an end, and SSR Bobberts in the Ferrari is through and up into third position on the racetrack at long last. Well, we've got to give credit to Adam. He's defended so well, but Bobberts has finally found a route through, Jess, and up into that third place.
Yes, I mean, I don't know how many penalties he's got. I know he's got a few, but we're not going to worry about that at the moment. Bobberts in a potential podium spot. I think it's probably going to be his first podium, which will be well deserving for him because he's driving ever so well. He got the lead into turn 1, and now he's back up into third. He has gained 2 positions off the starting line. So has Adam Dude as well. Pinecone's staying where he is. Aaron Dazzler's dropped 1. Jason is now up 8. He's 4 seconds behind Aaron Dazzler. It's not over to see if Jason can gain another position into 5th place. He can still do it because Aaron Dazzler has penalties. If Jason... Actually, I think Aaron's got 2 penalties. So Jason at the moment is in 5th place after starting last. I can't call it. We've got 4 laps to go. This should be exciting. There's just so many battles happening on track to just see what happens.
I'm having a look, Jess. Bobberts has got a hat full of penalties. He won't be finishing on the podium. Adam Dude has not got any penalties yet. Aaron Dazzler's got a hat full of penalties too. So at the moment it will be Martin from Pinecone, from Adam Dude, and then Jason will be 4th.
Wow.
As we go on to lap 24 now out of 28. Pinecone was threatening to drop out with the second window. He's still staying within range as things stand, but it's all about the battle for third place at the moment. Bobberts, he might have a hat full of penalties, but he'll do his best to fend off Adam Dude and Aaron Dazzler. They might not know how many penalties each other have got as things stand, but it is Bobberts still on the racetrack, at least holding that third place with Adam Dude 4th and Aaron Dazzler 5th. Martin there had seen that gap come back in. He's now threatening to move it out with a second, and there you go. He has just about. He's threatening to do it here, Jess. Right on 9/10. Pinecone just getting DRS on this lap. This is a crucial sector in this race to stay within 1 second. If he does not, that could be match point Martin, as Aaron Dazzler has been battling with Bobberts and Adam into turn 1, but he still is in 5th place. Wow, big sector in the race for Pinecone, and it looks like, Jess, he's just about going to stay within range of Martin, but he's making a big slide, going a little bit wide, and that might cost him time. Not enough though, still just about in touch, as Adam Dude gets his first penalty.
Yes, I mean, Martin means business, and I've been watching the ERSs from both of these drivers all race. They've pretty much been the same, so they've been pushing the same amount. They are being on par the whole race. Once I look, Pinecone is on 54. Martin's on 57. 1 minute they're on 70. The other person was on 70 as well. It's like the same drivers in the car, but it isn't. It is both different drivers. Both drivers that deserve to be there. Bobberts and Adam Dude. Let's see what Bobberts, can he come back on Adam Dude? Adam Dude is not letting this go through now. Adam Dude may not know about Bobberts' penalties. Aaron Dazzler may come in the figure things as well. Try and get them in on these two. I don't know. Bobberts, I think he's going to get P3. No, Adam's going to get the inside. Can he do it? No, he can't. Bobberts gets P3 on the racetrack, but I don't think it's going to be on for penalties. But that was a controlled drive from the pair of them. I still don't know who's going to get this podium. Jason I7F1 is 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Jess. You took the words out of my mouth. Jason is right there. This is, forget Bobberts, forget Aaron Dazzler. This is going to be a straight fight between Adam and Jason. They both have 3-second time penalties. The other two have far too many penalties to be considered in this battle. So Adam Dude really needs... Better still, if he can get ahead of Bobberts, he will seal that podium place. But at the moment, being stuck in that battle doesn't help him at all. It's just going to allow Jason, on those fresher tyres, those much quicker soft tyres, to gain and gain and gain, and potentially steal what would be a sensational first podium away from Adam Dude, and allow Jason to go back-to-back with 2 straight podiums. We'll find out how this is going to pan out, but it's certainly going to be interesting. Jess, I need to go and grab a drink. My throat is dry after this race. I'll be back in 2 seconds. This is crazy.
Yeah, I'll let you do that. I'm not surprised. My throat's about to go dry as well. I'm going to see if Pinecone is on the back of Martin, and I don't think he's caught up in this lap. I think he's going to wait until the final lap. Meanwhile, Adam Dude's going to challenge again for the last podium spot on Bobberts, but this time he can't make it work. He's going to try and get the left-hand side, and the more these guys are battling, the more that Jason I7F1 is going to be like, you know what? you got those penalties, I can get potentially P3, and that is looking very likely from Jason. He's 3/10 behind Aaron Dazzler at the moment. A podium is looking ever possible for the McLaren driver. He started last. He could be on for his second podium in a row. Adam Dude, he just got, he may force the other drivers into a mistake, but it's not looking very likely at the moment. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. But don't forget about Pinecone and Martin for now. We have got a battle for the podium to contend with, and this is getting marginally exciting. Jason I7 F1 dies it past Aaron Dazzler. He's up into 5th place on the racetrack. I know he'll be 5th place anyway, but he wants it on track. He wants the glory, and that will help him catch up to his nearest rivals and make the champagne taste even more sweeter.
Tell you what, Jess, that is a vital move for Jason 97 F1. He's now right within range of Adam Dude. He's within striking distance on those fresher tyres. Adam Dude's podium looks like it's slipping away, and it's all because he's been unable to clear Bobberts. If he could have done that, he would have had a much better chance. He's now stuck with Jason on the same number of penalties, but Jason's on those fresher, soft, compound tyres. He's going to be under real threat. Meanwhile, Pinecone, out of nowhere, has sliced the gap down, hand over fist on this final lap. Pinecone is now right there. It looked like it was dying on him. It looked like the hope was disappearing. And now Pinecone is right within range with every possibility of snatching the win away from TRL Martin. Remember, folks, Martin, no wins in F1 and AOR since the 30th of April 2017. That's 5 seasons ago. Season 13, 994 days ago. But Pinecone picks up a time penalty in the final corner, and all Martin needs to do now is keep it on the road and don't pick up any time penalties, and he will end a 994 day wait for an AOR F1 victory. But surely, if you're going to wait that long, you want to do it on the racetrack. You want to win it on the road. Can Martin do it in style, or will Pinecone do everything he can to try and snatch some sort of glory away from him? We are on the final lap here. We are on the edge of our seats. We've gone through turn 10. We're heading down now into turn 11, and surely Martin has got the job done. Half a lap to go. Can complete a sensational victory on this final lap. Pinecone's half a second away. He's gaining. He's not close enough. Martin has surely survived the last possible assault on this final lap. Adam Dude and Bobberts are side by side, by the way, going down the straight. We'll quickly watch that for a moment. Is Adam Dude going to get that done? He is going to get it done. Adam Dude is through. Look at Jason swimming round the outside. He's gone deep. It won't work. We need to go back to the front of the field, because here he comes. It's potentially one of the longest droughts in AOR history, and just like his hero Kimi Räikkönen, TRL Martin is going to end a huge drought. For the first time in 994 days, TRL Martin wins an AOR F1 race, his first since the 30th of April 2017 in Bahrain. It is the day of TRL Martin. He has taken the victory in the United States Grand Prix in the Alfa Romeo. He beats Pinecone, who put up a stunning fight, but in the end, the penalty didn't matter. Martin held his nerve and picked up a sensational win. Pinecone was second. A frantic attempt from Jason to get to Adam on the final lap wasn't enough. Adam was third. What a fantastic podium for him. Incredible. He's only been in the Tier 2 races and he's on the podium. Jason 97 F1 is fourth. Aaron Dazzler is fifth. Flying Rosie is sixth. Jess, I'm out of breath. I don't know about you, but well done to TRL Martin. A first win in 994 days.
I can see the chat lighting up. They wanted to see a Martin victory today, and they've got it. Martin, you can take a bow. I bet he'll be celebrating tonight with a bottle of champagne for sure. I mean, he had it coming. He's had battles all over the season. He was so close to wins in a few races this season, but this time he has done it. Absolutely brilliant stuff as well. We've also got a debut podium from Adam Dude. Well done to him as well. He's driven well, and he is the highest. He's beaten Aaron Dazzler. He is the first race in a while since the F2 tier to be merged with F1 where someone has beaten Aaron Dazzler, and this man has done it. So maybe we at the start of this race, I was predicting Adam Dude to beat Aaron, but he's done it today. And we've got a Finnish driver on top of the podium, and that is TRL Martin. Well deserved. Great race.
What a result, and it's been a long time since he tasted the champagne in AOR of the top step, but he's done it. TRL Martin ends the wait. He has won in AOR. Fantastic job from him. It's a happy podium. Pinecone might be slightly disappointed with second, but it is Adam Dude with a surprise podium in third place. Jason put up a valiant effort. He tried so hard to come from 14th, but in the end it wasn't enough. Martin, no penalties, a clean slate from third on the grid. Only Smasher could say that about himself as well. What a race here in the United States. Jess, your driver of the day.
Oh, that's a tough decision. I'll have to go between Jason and Martin. I'll have to give it to the race winner. I mean, he hasn't had a win since obviously, like he said, season 13, but Jason a very close second, and hopefully many more races to come. Hopefully we won't have a bigger gap next time to see Martin taking another win, because that was so long to wait, but the wait was finally worth it.
Wow. What a finish that race. TRL Martin then, he's also going to be my choice for driver of the day. Fantastic job from him. Again, as you said, Jess, a special mention to Jason and also to Adam Dude getting his first podium too. What a fantastic race. Jess, is that the best US Grand Prix you've had the pleasure of watching? It's certainly up there for me.
Yeah, definitely. I got to say, Oceania was pretty good this morning with 11 drivers, even though, and there were still some great battles. I think this has definitely got to be the top USA Grand Prix I've watched ever. So, yeah, that's definitely up there. And I'm super proud of all the drivers tonight that have took part. All of them have been involved in battles. Hopefully we can see the same next week. We've got 2 more rounds to go. We've got Brazil next week, and we've got Abu Dhabi the week after. I know Brazil is going to be a cracker. If USA is anything to go by, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do at Interlagos next week.
Sorry, Jess, I thought I lost you there. What did you say? You're looking forward to see what they're going to do in Brazil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well, because, you know, this AOR season, it has been reignited by the decision to merge F1 and F2. We've got to give a big shout out to the coordinators on that one. We're faced with a problem and they've dealt with it really well. We've now had a couple of great races, haven't we? Had a great time in Japan watching Martin again. He was on fire in Japan, putting in some great overtakes. There was action everywhere in that one. Action everywhere again today. Yeah, I can't wait for the Brazilian Grand Prix, Jess. It should be another cracker. It's another racetrack, a classic one, where there should be plenty of action on the racetrack, and there's always a chance of some rain there as well. What a way to close out the weekend's AOR action, and what a way to end a 994-day wait for an AOR F1 League win. Yes, as you mentioned, he's won in the esports tournaments in AOR, but not in the main league, and he's finally ended the wait, has TRL Martin. This night belongs to him, Jess. It's been a fantastic race here today, folks. Nobody is joining us for interviews tonight. Be sure to join us again next week for the Brazilian Grand Prix. If you enjoyed that one, I'm sure you'll enjoy Brazil as well. That's all from me, Ginger Andy. It's all from Jess as well. It's Martin's moment in the sun in the United States. Good night.